Hello everyone, welcome to AgriViews, our video blog talking about agriculture, covering technology, innovations, policy and trade. In our current series, we talk about EgTech innovation hubs. We have covered India and Israel, and today we will be covering the Netherlands, a tiny country which intends to feed the world. Netherlands is having a peculiar capability of being the second largest exporter of food and agriculture product across the globe, second only to the United States of America, a country which is having 250 times more land than Netherlands. So first of all, let's understand a little bit about Netherlands and profile it. So it is a country with 17.4 million people, 92.5% of them living in cities. And what is very important here is that 52% of Netherlands population is actually working class. Netherlands is having a per capita GDP of close to 51,000 US dollars. So it is considered among the developed countries in the world. A GDP of close to 886 billion US dollar in nominal terms makes this a small country a prosperous one. If you see the part of agriculture GDP, it is not very high, which is 1.6% of the overall GDP of the nation. But when you club food and agriculture, it gets a lion's share of close to 44% of the Netherlands GDP, around 391.6 billion US dollars. Similarly, when we talk about agri and food export, Netherlands is having $114 billion annual exports, which is close to 21% of its total exports. While a small country with close to 1.8 million hectares of land under cultivation, that's a big achievement. Netherlands is having a mindset that they cannot use their technical innovation just to cultivate within their own country and being the producer. They also have intention of becoming the knowledge hub for the world to grow. That is one of the reasons that 140 countries across the world are having thousands of projects which are driven by innovation happening in Netherlands. Let's understand the reason behind such a state of affairs where the Netherlands is the central to the agriculture philosophy of not just Europe but across the world. The whole thing started when Sico Mansholt took over after the Second World War as the Minister of Agriculture in Netherlands. That time, because of the war and extreme weather conditions, the challenge was Europe was going without two square meals. Conditions were not very different in Netherlands as well. And then he gave a cry of never hunger again. He later on became the first vice president of European Commission as well as the fourth president of the European Commission, as well as for more than a decade he was Commissioner of Agriculture for the European Commission. Sico ensured the philosophy of Netherlands leading the world when it comes to bringing food on table of everyone. If we see today, in 2000, Netherlands took one other step to be a visionary in field of food and agriculture, when they decided that the way we are doing farming is not right, and came with a new cry, producing double with half of the resource so that the agriculture become a sustainable agriculture. And that is a philosophy for close to 2 decades, which is being continuously supported by leadership of Netherlands. Now let's understand what are the challenges and advantages of the Netherlands. If you see, the biggest challenge for Netherlands is that it is having limited land. A major part of land in Netherlands is being taken away from the sea by reclamation. that creates a big challenge when it comes to agriculture because they don't have sufficient amount of land to cultivate. Second is subsidence of farmlands. As a major part of land has been developed by filling up sea, the farmlands there are sinking with every passing year. The third challenge is water vulnerability. If you see, Netherlands is a country where sometimes you are having extreme weather leading to very dry spell, and then extreme weather where you are having humongous amount of rain and there is flooding. Further, because of its characteristic, there is a huge amount of salinity which is including into the farmlands. And finally, as I said, weather extreme. Netherlands is among those countries which have been affected by climate change more than others. But over these challenges, there are few strategic capabilities of Netherlands which goes in its favor. One, it is having world's best R&D facilities when it comes to food and agriculture. Wageningen University, World Horticulture Center, such innovative institutions are adding new and new technologies in agriculture, whether about growing in a controlled environment, about creating biofertilizers, about genetic engineering to come out with better seeds, about precision agriculture to ensure you can reduce the usage of resources in agriculture, irrigation mechanisms to reduce the usage of water, using CO2 from industry to enhance the increase in yields. All these are outcome of very well structured R&D initiatives in Netherlands. Netherlands is also having a big advantage because public, private, startup and consumer, all four pillars of food and agriculture economy are aligned to create better food which is having higher nutrients, is safe, using minimum amount of resources. This alignment ensures that Netherlands is able to be among those countries which are having highest yields or within top few countries with highest yield in majority of horticulture crops. And finally, the large self-sufficient glass or greenhouse infrastructure. If you see an aerial view of Netherlands, you'll find it very different than any agriculture country. Rather than large fields or small fields, you'll find large glass houses or greenhouses, especially when you talk about the southern part bordering Belgium. You can end up seeing greenhouses as large as 175 acres. Netherlands believes that controlled, innovative farming is way forward to reduce hunger globally. Now let's talk about some of the areas of EdTech where Netherlands is doing very well. Unlike most of the other EdTech hubs, you'll find Netherlands is more about a package than a small piece technology capabilities or one solution fits everyone sort of mindset. Whether it is about sensor technology, whether it is about communication technology, whether it is about biotechnology, or whether it is about genetics, whether it is about agronomic capabilities, all those things are clubbed together to create a beautiful ecosystem of agriculture technology in Netherlands. For example, controlled farming is one of the key pillar of AgTech ecosystem in Netherlands. Company like Serthon, which is having capability of having different sort of innovations in greenhouse or glass house technology. Now, when I say green and glass house, Netherlands is having a distinction where majority of its controlled environment farming is done through glass house, unlike the greenhouses we see in other part of the world. Botany Group, which uses its capability in botany and agriculture science to be able to deliver the product you want based on whatever parameters you are having. Again, they have innovation from the way the dosing happens, to the right sort of seed, to the medium which is being used. Again, giving a 360-degree coverage of reaching to the final conclusion of growing more food with less of resources. And then you are having a company like Plant Lab, which gives you a farm in a box. Whatever you want to grow, using this box, you'll be able to grow. That is what the idea behind the Plant Lab is. This ensures you grow majority of your food locally, hence being more sustainable. Then we are having another sector, which is digital agriculture or precision agriculture, in which there is a strong capability as a country Netherlands is having. Company like 30 megahertz, which is a platform which integrates from IoT sensor to remote sensing and everything, and giving those capabilities to the farmer where they can use from climate to pest to media to agronomy all rolled into one, which can be used directly at the grassroots level. Then a company like AgroCares, which is having different sort of capabilities, including soil sensing. They are having beautiful solution in a box for real-time analysis of soil, real-time analysis of the leaves, real-time analysis of the pest. And when we put all this together, they are able to give advisory on basis of real-time data to help farmers, especially in controlled environments. Then a company like Alice is a company which uses power of image processing in both cultivation as well as post-harvest activities. There are companies in biotech including Corbion, which is using lactic acid based products to enhance the agriculture or farming activities. Then you have companies like Caradis, which provides bio pesticides or bio crop protection capabilities. Company like Solienta, which is another interesting example, which works in field of potatoes, and they take potato farming to a different level by giving hybrid true seeds for potatoes. Then there are companies which work towards waste management and sustainability. Company like Packcoff, which uses the byproduct of coffee production, which is coffee pulp, to make different sort of products from chewing gums to fibers. Similarly, Peel Pioneers uses the peel of orange to again create fiber as well as essential oil, to name a few. And company like Protex, which use insects, breed insect to create products for animal feeds. So these are some of the innovative activities happening in Netherlands. Let's go a little bit detail in each of these companies, which I believe are the future of farming and agriculture. Serthon, as I said, they are having different solution for green or glass houses from typical dosage environment. So based on real-time data, they are able to assign different dose for different type of crops. They have very good condition monitoring and intervention system to ensure that the climatic condition within the greenhouse suits the crop being grown there in the area or in the broad environment they are grown in. Serthon also have small box sort of solutions where you can actually have micro farms, which can be rooftop farms, floating farms, or container farms. All these solutions are ready to deploy, and Serthon is actually working to create more innovation when it comes also to harvesting in these greenhouses using automation. Then let's talk a little bit about AgroCares. AgroCares is a super sensor company. They can on real-time basis understand the soil. On real-time basis, they are able to sense the leaves. On real-time basis, they are able to sense the pest environment. And by integrating these three, they are able to use automation technology to take care of these challenges in agriculture. AgroCares ensure that you do farming on a real-time, non-human intervention basis. That's the beauty of AgroCares. 30 megahertz is a broadly a platform which integrates different APIs from different information providers, acting as a typical knowledge hub. By collecting information from different sources, from agronomy to climate condition, they are able to give you the matrices which any farm manager would require to be efficient farmer. If we see Aris has having super video or image processing capabilities, which is used for quality assessment of different type of crops. They have worked on a large number of horticulture crops where they are able to identify different grades of the produce and segregate them based on the grading. Similarly, they are very active when it comes to packaging, movement, logistic, and even harvesting based on their image and video processing capabilities. The next company we talk about is Corbion. Corbion is a giant which is predominantly having expertise in working on lactic acid based products, enzymes, whether it is about creating a protective coating for fruits and vegetable or to ensure the enhanced productivity of soil. Corbion is capable of delivering bioproducts to help in these activities. It is having multiple companies doing various innovative things in other sectors as well, but predominantly in food and agriculture, they are a very strong name because they believe lactic acid is having a lot of magic which is still not being used. Then let's talk about Solenta. Solenta is a very interesting case where the normal way of doing potato farming is using seed tubers of potato. Now that's a logistic nightmare because you have to move close to 2,500 kgs of seed tuber for 1 hectare of land. However, they have produced true hybrid seeds of potato which are pest tolerant, better yields, and only 250 gram of the same is required for 1 hectare. This technology is already being piloted in multiple countries including Africa, and going forward I believe they will change the way the potatoes are grown globally. And finally, Protix. Protix is an activity where they themselves breed insects, and from insect they are able to derive various products including proteins for animal husbandry, poultry, as well as for aquaculture, giving better yields of all these products, and essential lipid oils as well, which again are used for animal feed and enhancing the output from the animal husbandry sector. Protix is also a technology pioneer honored by World Economic Forum, just like me, and they are, I believe, trying to make the cyclic economy stronger, because by using insects, which actually are pests in majority of human activities, can be used to deliver value. We have talked about some of these companies, and there are more than 6,500 odd companies in Netherlands which are working in food and agriculture sector, all innovating a lot. If you have to see, you have to see the food valley of Netherlands, which is just like Silicon Valley in US, focus on food and agriculture innovations. Going forward, Netherlands has a mindset of being the knowledge partner to roll out their innovations across the world and help world grow more food in a more sustainable manner with, as I said, intention of growing double with half of the resources. I hope you would have liked this session of AgriViews. We'll cover 2 more innovation hubs, China and USA, in our next episodes. Let me also introduce a little bit about Honeybee. Honeybee is a company which brought you this video, and we work with global innovation companies and ecosystem to help agriculture and food sector in developing countries, especially Africa and Asia. Thank you. See you in the next episode.